Hi guys, I just finished reading this book and has brought me to the conversation I'm about to have with you guys. It brought me to a scene that I just read about the two characters that are like in love and stuff, and I just started thinking about love, and that's why I started to think about things and love and men and just a whole bunch of things. Like once I think about one thing, I start to just derail and think about a whole bunch of just random things, but they all correlate to love. You know what I mean? It's just that it's I just jump from topic to topic. So if I do that, just hear me out and just listen and just grab your coffee, a snack, or dinner and just put me in your ears, whatever you're doing, you know. It was a really good book, and um I think why I'm even, talking to you guys about love is because I was just thinking like, wow, like just the way that this woman writes about the love these two main characters have with each other made me think about the concept of love and how, I don't know, recently that I've been getting into a lot of like romance. I literally just started reading books. Like I've been reading books for a few years now, but I was reading more into self-help books, and then I started getting into romance books. And I was just thinking like, man, the way that these books make me feel like romantically, like my emotions, I'm like, I don't ever want to be in a situation where I don't feel that way towards someone. I know it sounds crazy. I know it's a book, but these emotions and feelings are coming from a person, a writer. I mean, it's a woman, but still, like, she's writing about these feelings, and I think like how real those feelings are, just her writing about them, they're just so real. They can't just be like, oh, they're from a book, it's a fairy tale. Like, no, like this is coming from like a real person. And I was just thinking about how, you know, I have always been like a girl that's always in relationships and just always, you know, being with boyfriends. Or I was a boy crazy girl. It's just, let me just say, I was boy crazy, you know. And I was really boy crazy in my 20s. I centered men a lot in my life, and I feel like that was my downfall. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I've learned so much, so I don't want to make it such a negative thing. God does things for a reason. He puts certain people in your life for a reason. I'm just like, and I'm so thankful now that I have these experiences, because I can talk to my little sisters about this, and hopefully they can, do better than I did. And how centering men, especially in your youthful years, is just the one of the most unproductive, most just, it just won't do anything for you. You know what I mean? There's a 1 in a millionth chance that you're gonna find a young guy that's actually your age, that's willing to be a good man and do the things that you deserve and support you and be there for you and love you in a healthy way. But that's such a rare thing. I still have yet to experience like a healthy love. I still have yet to be in a situation where I'm like, oh my god, this is like the healthiest thing I've ever been in. Like, I've never been in that. And even right now that I don't have any love interests or anything like that, I like reading these books fulfills the need to have a romantic, rendezvous, or like a love or a boyfriend. It genuinely fulfills those feelings. I don't know if that sounds a little bit sick. Maybe, I don't know, but I just feel like these books that I read that are just filled with so much emotion, like I feel those feelings and I'm like, oh my god, my heart, it just, it just fulfills the need to even like look for that stuff. Like if it comes, if God decides to, you know, put a good person in my life, and I know that I'd be able to recognize it now, like their intentions. I feel like I'm so much smarter mentally, emotionally about those things, so like I'd be willing to pick and choose wisely when it comes to partners and stuff. But like I don't feel the need to have that because I have it with my books. I have it with my books. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just rambling right now, so just like I said, just go along with it. And you know, I think that, you know, and it's not that I could say that I'm probably traumatized by men. You know, I've been in a lot of like really messed up situations, and even right now, like I think about them, and I never ever gave myself a chance to really heal situations that I was in. You know, like I would just jump into like something new, or like I would, you know, just start getting boy crazy again after like a serious situation or like a serious relationship or whatever. And you know, and a couple of the men that I was involved with were also victims of me, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like I was a good girl that was like so loving and like faithful. You know, it's just so hard, you know. I don't know, I just loved men, I guess. Like I just loved men. You know, it was hard for me to resist. It's like when I see a cute guy, I'm just like, ooh, like yum, he's so cute, and I'm like immediately have my eyes on him. Like I'm literally like I've bagged every man that I've ever wanted. I just couldn't stay. Because I was just never satisfied of the way that they treated me, or just, you know, even the situations that I was in. I was just kind of like, I would get hurt and I would go back to them, and it wouldn't be just one that I would go back to. I would go back to like 2 or 3 at the same time. So it was just one of those situations, you know, like it was hard for me to be satisfied, and hard for me to, you know, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of girls, like in their 20s, we're just kind of so going through life confused with like a whole bunch of things, and just certain ways of like how things are supposed to be, you know what I mean? And you start to feel like, wait, like maybe it's not supposed to be this way, maybe it's supposed to be this way, maybe it's supposed to be that way. I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I feel like I lost my train of thought at some point. The whole point of this video was kind of for me to tell you guys that centering men in your life is just not going to bring you anything. Literally nothing at all. Sex is always going to be more valuable for us than it is for them. I feel like for a man it's more of an animal instinct to have sex. For women it's more of an emotional and mental thing, you know what I mean? That's the difference. It's never going to be the same for women and men. I don't care what anybody says, that's just my opinion. Like, I'm all for equality, definitely, I agree, but I think if we really get down to like nature in our DNA, like men and women, we're just never going to be the same when it comes to those things. That's why I, you know, even now myself, you know, even though I've had a good amount of sexual experiences in my life, like now that I'm just decided not to go that route, you know, I feel like healthier mentally and emotionally. I feel like I'm still kind of detoxing a lot of the energies from the past, because I've let in, you know, and energies that were just not compatible with mine, or just energies that were just not good energies for me. And I became like an energy hoarder in my body. You know, I feel like my gut, my gut, my mental and emotional well-being hoarded a lot of those energies. That's why I strongly am such an advocate for abstinence and just being, you know, like you get it, you know what I mean, you know, like just like this. You know, I just feel like the way that we have sex, right, women, specifically us, the way that we have sex, we connect in different levels. We connect in that act in a very emotional and mental kind of way. I mean, we're letting them in. We're not going inside of them. You know what I mean? Like, we can't ever go inside of them. We're letting them in here, in our energy, in our body. Like, it's such a big deal. I don't know why I never, like, took it more serious as a younger person. But that's why I'm making this video, because I feel like we should take it serious. It's a big deal. You know what I mean? It is a big deal. Like, I've had sex with men where, like, they've affected my emotional and mental well-being so bad that I've done things so out of character for me, like so out of character, because I was just not energetically compatible with them, but I let them in. You know, like, I was just energetically like, we were not compatible, but I had feelings for them. I loved them. You know what I mean? Or they loved me, or whatever, you know, or maybe they were having sex with other people, and, you know, those energies affected me too. But I've done so many things so out of character when it comes to certain people I was with, because I was so attached to them in a physical standpoint that it affected me also mentally and emotionally, and it triggered my actions, you know. And like I said, I am not going to, like, play victim to these things, because I really don't like to give my power away like that. Like I said, I feel like once I start to play the victim in, you know, anything in my life, I start to feel like I'm giving away my power. And don't get me wrong, like I said, it's like, I'm allowed to be a victim in certain situations because I have been, but I immediately try to, you know, uno reverse, you know, because I strongly believe that being a victim will only really put you way more into just like a mental and emotional, like, depression, or like, just like, you're gonna be in a pit, in a hole, in a black hole when you're a victim. It just really does, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's why for me, like, I strongly feel that when it comes to sex, it's just, we're not equal with men. It's just not. It's more of an animal instinct for them. For us, it's more of an emotional thing. And, you know, if you're not in a place where you can, you know, process your emotions in a healthy way, or if you're not in a place where, like, you even understand your emotions, it could really get you down a road where you spiral, especially if you're not with the right person, you know? So I just feel like I want you guys to, you know, be careful. I love you guys. I genuinely do. I feel like I want to have all my girls' backs, and I want everyone, all the girls, to do good. I want all the women to do good. I want to see all the women thriving and living the lives they deserve, you know, because we deserve it. And I feel like, even myself, like, I feel like if I didn't center men and started having sex so early, in my, you know, years of being young, I was a child when I had sex. Literally, I was literally 15. And the worst part about it, I had sex with a freaking 20-something-year-old man. He was like my first, well, he wasn't my first boyfriend, but he was like my first, you know. And he made me believe that having sex with him was me like proving that I wanted to be with him. And I didn't want to, but I felt like I wanted to be with him, so I just kind of, you know, I went through that. So and that obviously once I got physical with him, it grew like a more of an emotional attachment, you know. So he literally took my virginity, and then he broke up with me like a day or two after, which I was absolutely heartbroken, you know what I mean, because I was in this mindset where like, wait, I thought that if I gave you my body, it was me proving to you that I wanted to be with you, or that I had feelings for you, so I gave it to you and you broke up with me. I was hurt, you know. I was hurt, and that's where it all started, you know. Everything started. I wish I didn't get physical at a young age, you know. I wish I would have waited for at least someone that loved me, even if we didn't end up being together, you know. But I was completely taken advantage of by a 20-something-year-old man. You know what's crazy? Like, years later, I was working at a restaurant and I ran into his twin brother. His twin brother actually also had a crush on me, and I was actually more interested in him. And like, apparently after I started dating his brother, I found out that the twin brother also liked me too. And like, the twin brother was kind of pissed off. And mind you, these guys are like 20-something years old. And I was just like, not thinking about it, like, I'm just like sick. Like, it's sick, you know. I was just a kid. They had older sisters, and the older sisters knew that I was a kid. I remember one of them, they made like this weird comment. It was like a weird comment. They were like, oh my god, like I was wearing like a cute little skirt. I remember I was wearing like a cute little skirt, like a white tee and like a headband or something. I don't know, I was like wearing a cute outfit. And then they were like, oh my god, you literally look like you can be like one of those Nickelodeon kids. Like, you're sick. You know I'm a kid, and you're like allowing your brother, you know. Oh my god. But they're probably like, well, your mom, you know, must know about this, so like if she's good with it, then I don't know. Anyway, so I feel like that was like the beginning of me just, you know, getting into the whole physical stuff with men, and kind of not learning how, I didn't process my emotions really great. I remember even after that, a couple years, I like was in a party crew, so like I would smoke and drink, and I would do like I was doing like all the drugs at once. Like I went through, like, you know, it wasn't, I mean, I went through all this stuff by myself, you know. I was alone, and I think that also that why am I gonna start crying? Just like also going through all those things by myself like didn't help, you know. So I just want you guys to know that if you're young and if you're going through something right now, please hit me up. I will talk to you. I really would talk to you, because like nobody talks about how much it affects you as a girl to go through physical sexual activity at a young age, you know what I mean? Like, you know, at a young age, and it affects you a lot, and especially when you're a young girl and you're encountering older men, you know, and it's just, it fucks you up, you know. It really does, mentally, emotionally. That's what I'm saying, how much the physical plays in for us women. It plays a big role for us, when it comes to, you know, our lives and our well-beings and our everything, our mental and emotional. It affects us. It genuinely does. And if it doesn't, I mean, good for you, you know. The hookup culture and all that shit, I'm just not for that. I'm just not for it. I realize that me personally, I should either have sex with someone that I love and respects me and loves me, vice versa, or I'm just completely not having sex. That's just my two things. Like, I did the hookup culture. I was in that, you know, and it was just not it. I mean, I'm not here like I'm not saying that I've had sex with like 20 people, like, you know what I mean? Like, my body count is literally small. You know, it's literally so small. But still, obviously other things, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I would just, you know, take care of yourself. If you're young and if you're living life, if you're going to college, or if you're just trying to figure out what you want to do, just focus on that. I would have been so much far ahead in my life if I didn't focus so much on trying to get love and trying to find this external love. And all I really needed to do to find that love was to look within myself, and I just wasn't aware of that. I've been living my life so independently, not really having like adults in my life that I could really depend on to have conversations like this with, and things like this help so much. I am trying to be so real and so raw with my little siblings because I want them to feel safe to talk to me about these things and to feel like they have someone there no matter what. Even if they do make mistakes, I will always be there to like have a shoulder to cry on, to have somebody to cry with. You know, I will literally start crying with them, and you know, things like that. That's why I'm telling you that if you are in a place right now where like you're in a situationship, I fucking hate that shit, like that. I fucking hate that word. I hate it. It's just so stupid. Anyway, like if you're in a situationship and it's not bringing you any value into your life, immediately cut it off. If you start to feel those feelings where like there's something here that's not right, you have to go. You have to go immediately. I'm telling you, put yourself first. Put yourself first. Your mental and emotional well-being. Your body is your temple, literally. It's literally everything that you should be prioritizing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just your body and how you treat it. It helps you. Like, it helps you wake up every day. It's running your everyday life. So why not treat it with so much love and tenderness? And why not just save all that sexual energy for someone that, you know, deserves it? And I know hormones and this and that. I know, I'm a woman. Get a toy. Get a toy. Get a toy. Literally, I have so many different types of things. Like, am I allowed to talk about this? I need to know what age group I'm talking to first, because I don't want to, you know, like, I don't want to get that explicit. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know how I got from talking about that but to talking about this. Like I said, love is so complex. It just goes in different things and areas, and you know what I mean. And I'm just going through a time in my life right now where I'm like starting over. I'm literally starting over. Like, I'm literally starting all over again. I'm 31 and I'm starting all over again. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm just starting all over again. And is it scary? Yeah, a little bit. Am I gonna be okay? I know I'm gonna be okay, you know? Yes. And am I letting myself process every feeling I have right now? And, you know, every feeling that I've had for a long time that I suppress, I'm letting myself detox. Right now I feel like this starting over in my life is like a detox of like emotions and energies and just so many things, you know. And you know, I feel grateful, you know. I have a roof over my head. I have a really great roommate, which is so rare to find, you know what I mean. I have a job that pays said home and groceries, and I can still work on my hobbies like YouTube and my Depop. So like I'm thankful for those things. I'm just at a place where like I'm just starting all over. Like this is not something that I was doing like a few years ago. You know, I was working at Zara. I literally had 3 jobs at one point. I was working at Zara, I was working at Hervé Ledger in Bloomingdale's, and I was working at a boutique called Equipment where I was just like styling people. And then before that I was working at a restaurant for a really long time where like, oh my god, I should give you guys a story time on that because I have some juicy stuff about I got involved with the boss's son, and I'm pretty sure he hates me right now, but I don't know, I feel like I should talk about that because it's a long story. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, I'm at a point right now, so like right now, love, the only love I'm really seeking is the love that I have within myself. You know what I mean? Like the love, how much more bigger can my love get for myself? Like I feel like I'm discovering a new sense of love, you know what I mean? And you know, yeah, I mean physically, like I'm not physically involved with anybody, like I said, I'm protecting my energy, but I do have a little bit of juiciness. I think there's this guy at my job. He's really cute. Like I haven't felt physically attracted to someone in a very long time, and I don't know if God is testing me, but like I don't really see cute guys out in the wild, you know what I mean? Especially because I'm like out there all the time. I don't really see cute guys like that, but like lately I've been seeing a lot of cute, very attractive men lately, and I haven't seen that in a long time. So I'm like, what's going on, God? Are you trying to test me? Don't test me, because I'm locked in, okay? Like I'm locked in. Like I'm a look, but mentally and emotionally I'm not in that place, you know what I mean? Right now all I'm really focused on is myself, my health, my well-being, my mental, emotional, my hobbies, making something out of something, you know what I mean? Just figuring out what's next, you know? And yeah, I just wanted to chat, I guess. I was just like, literally I sat here and I was cleaning and I just sat here and I just started talking to myself. I just started talking to myself. I'm like, wait, let me talk to my YouTube girlies. But yeah, I hope that you guys got something out of this, and if you're in any situation where you don't feel valued, secure, you know, I know it's not easy, trust me. I just walked away from a situation a few months ago with said boss's son, ex-boss's son, with said ex-boss's son. I just walked away from a situation where like, I mean he was helping me in some way financially, might I quite add, but something in me didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. I just feel like because of the history that I had with him, you know what I mean? Obviously the money was good, like the money was good, you know, like the money was good as far as like he was taking care of me, you know, but I felt this really bad vibe around him, like a really bad vibe. I didn't feel good, and I feel like if I didn't have the history with him that I had, then it would have been easier for me to just get the bag, you know, get the money and just, you know, get the money and just be. But it's just one of those things where I felt like, I don't know, I just didn't feel happy with him, you know what I mean? I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel like good being around him. He wasn't really a supportive person towards me, But yeah, like I said, that's a story for another, so if you guys want to hear about it, let me know. This is a long story. But yeah, so I walked away from that, you know. Yeah, I walked away from that. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this. But the way that I did it was so funny. It was so childish the way that I did it, but whatever. Like I said, I'll tell you guys in another talking vlog. I don't know. But if you guys want to hear about it, I'll tell you guys. Because you guys are the homies, for real. Like, I fuck with you guys heavy. And yeah, so I'm gonna just go make some coffee. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for always showing me so much fucking love. Like, you guys are literally so funny. I love you guys. I love you guys. Seriously, you guys are so fucking awesome. Every time I get a sweet message, I literally always, like, I get teary-eyed. I get teary-eyed for everything, dude. Like, literally, when my little sister sends me little messages, I just start fucking crying. I'm a crybaby. I'm a fucking Pisces. Anyway, but yeah. Protect your energy, sis. That's all I'm gonna say. Protect your energy. Pour it into yourself.